Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary working as an assistant professor in management department. Today I'm going to share an online video on principles of management.
Students, in previous lecture, you have studied authority, types of authority, responsibility, accountability, and delegation of authority. So, we will be continuing with Unit 3, and today we will be covering coordination, principle of coordination, organization structure or design, and organization chart and details. So, let's start with today's lecture. So, let's start with the coordination. Coordination is an orderly arrangement of group efforts to provide unity of action in the pursuit of common goals. Basically, coordination क्या होता है? Whenever you are organizing people or groups in such a way that they work together properly and well, that is your coordination. Basically, it also brings harmony in carrying out the different tasks and activities, and that will help you in achieving your objectives. So therefore we can say that the coordination function is an orderly arrangement of efforts providing unity of action to achieve organizational goals. So students, let's take the example of PUBG. You all are playing PUBG right now, right? So whenever you are playing that game, what happens ki if there is no coordination between you and your other team members, then how can you achieve the goal? The ultimate goal in your PUBG game is that you have to win. So how will you win if you are not having properly coordination between you and your friends? So coordination is required at each and every level, and it is required in every activity just to achieve all your organizational goals or to achieve your personal goals. Now, next is your characteristics of coordination. First is coordination integrates group efforts. As I told you, it's a group effort process because you can't work much efficiently as a single entity. Suppose if a task is given to 10 employees, then in that case that task can be completed more efficiently and also in shorter duration. But if the same task is given to a single employee, then he might not be able to complete that task more efficiently, or also it will take more time than the group task. So coordination integrates group efforts so that organizational objective can be achieved. Next is your coordination ensures unity of action. It means during coordinating process an effort is made to create unity among the various activities of an organization so that there will be no time lacking in completion of the task. Next is your coordination is a continuous process. Basically, it is required in a continuation way. Otherwise, there is no use of coordinating one task only. अब ऐसा तो नहीं है that you have completed a task work once only, now you will not require it again. If you want to achieve your goals, then you have to coordinate in a regular way. Next is your coordination is an all-pervasive function. It means that it is required at every level of the organization, and also it is required everywhere. So as we have taken the example of PUBG, that is not an organizational task, right? But still we required a coordination so that we can achieve the our whatever the goal we are having, so that we can achieve it. So it is a pervasive function. Next is your coordination is the responsibility of all managers. Basically, it is considered as it is a responsibility of all managers because managers have to maintain a harmonious relation in an organization. It is one of their responsibility. So manager have to ensure that there is a proper coordination in an organization. It's their responsibility. Okay. Need and importance of coordination. First is here it encourages team spirit. Basically, it ensures the team spirit so that there will be no rivalries or conflicts. Instead of that, employees will focus on their work and they will complete it on time. Because if there will be conflict between the employees, that will harm the organizational environment, and also they will not be able to accomplish their goals. So there should be a team spirit. Second is it gives proper direction. So there are many departments in the organization and each department performs different activities, right? So coordination integrates or that brings them together these activities to achieve their organizational goals or to achieve their common goals. This coordination gives them proper direction to work all the departments in a harmonious way and in a coordinating way so that they can have a proper coordination and all the activities are to be done in a coordinating way so that they can accomplish their task. Next is your coordination facilitates motivation. Basically, if an employee is able to work so efficiently that their will be objective is being achieved, then an organization gives them the financial and non-financial benefits which will motivate them to work more efficiently and which will motivate them to work more and more, right? So next is here it makes optimum utilization of resources. Coordination basically focuses on minimization of the wastages and proper utilization of those resources which will be beneficiary for the organization. Next is coordination helps to achieve objectives quickly. Basically, coordination helps to minimize the conflicts, rivalries, wastage, delays, or any other organizational problems. So it ensures a smooth working of the organization. Therefore, what will help? It will help the coordination of an organization to achieve its objective easily and quickly. Next is your coordination improves relations in the organization. When there is a proper coordination in an organization at each and every level, and manager shows interest in their subordinates' activities and also guide them to work more efficiently, that will help the overall improvement in the relation of the organization. Next is your coordination leads to higher efficiency. When there is like proper utilization of resources and there is optimum utilization of resources without any wastage, so that will result in more returns and low cost, and that will lead to higher efficiency. And last is here it improves goodwill of the organization. See, students, if an organization is able to complete their assignments on time with the help of coordination, that will lead to sell high quality goods and services at low price, which will ultimately increase the goodwill of the organization. Principles of coordination. First is early stage principle. Basically, coordination should be started at a very early stage or at the planning stage. So this will ensure that the best plans are made and it will also help in successfully implementing these plans. Second is your continuity principle. As we have discussed earlier that it requires continuity. Thus, it means that the process should not be only a one-time process. So, the process of coordination should begin at the very early stage and continues until the organization exists. Next is your direct contact principle. It states that the manager should directly contact their subordinates. Thus, it will help in building a good relation for managers with their subordinates. Next is your clarity of objective principle. The objective of the organization should be clearly stated to each and every organization employees and also to each and every department. Thus, there should not be any doubt regarding the objective of the organization, so that will be automatically help in achieving the objectives so in a quickly and easily way. Next is your unity of command. Unity of command means one boss for one subordinate, right? We have also discussed in previous lectures that there should be a one boss for one employee. It will be difficult to achieve the coordination if one employee has to report to more than one boss, and thus it will be a difficult one to achieve the goals. Next is your scalar chain. Scalar chain means like there should be a proper hierarchy of levels where information and instructions flow from top to bottom. Instructions or information flows from top to bottom, and suggestions and complaints from follows from bottom to top, which will facilitate coordination and there should be no confusion in the organization. Students, please note down that scalar chain has been asked in short answer type questions in previous year's exams. So please make sure that you are able to write down about the scalar chain. So please understand the concept of a scalar chain very widely. Okay. Next is your types of coordination. First is your vertical and horizontal coordination. Vertical refers to the coordination among the activities of a manager and his subordinate. It is needed to ensure that all levels act in a harmony, and it helps to maintain unity of command between different levels. For example, when you are coordinating some activities like you have to do complete this task, this activity is defined by the subordinate superior. Superior is commanding some task to their subordinates. That is your vertical. And horizontal coordination occurs at the single hierarchical level. It is a coordination which is done between the employees working at the same level, sorry. So here the example will be like you are asking your colleagues about anything, like you are asking them that can you please help me in this specific task. That coordination, that is between employees when you are working on a same level and you are coordinating some activities, that is known as horizontal coordination. Next is your internal and external coordination. In coordination in internal, when it is established between different departments and units of an organization. It is related with the internal activities and human efforts of an enterprise. It includes both vertical and horizontal coordination, but it will be limited to the organizational coordination only. Whereas when a coordination took place between an organization and its external environment, that is your external coordination. Here external factors includes which are market, consumers, investors, suppliers, competitors, etc. These all are your external environment. Next is your procedural and substantive coordination. Procedural coordination focuses on the procedures and a predefined path. It establishes the lines of authority and defines the sphere of activity and authority to each employee. Whereas substantive coordination doesn't follow any procedural path. Instead, it is concerned with the content of the organization's activity, and also it is based on certain principles and specified knowledge. Next is your techniques for better coordination. First, sound planning. there should be a sound planning so that goals of the organization and goals of its units must be clearly defined. Every member of the organization must understand fully how his job contributes to the overall objectives. Next, simplified organization. The line of authority and responsibility from top to the bottom of the organization structure should be clearly defined. Clear-cut definition of authority and responsibility will help to avoid conflicts or any kind of confusions. Next is your effective communication. There should be a open and regular communication between the employees and their managers so that all the activities will run smoothly. It will also help in resolving differences and in creating mutual understanding. Like a mutual understanding will be created if there is no conflict between the employees and their managers, so that no employee will feel demotivated and will work more and more efficiently. Next is your effective leadership and supervision. Basically, it ensures coordination of efforts both at the planning and the execution stage. A good leader can continuously guide the activities of his subordinates in the right direction and also can inspire them to pull together for the accomplishment of objectives. And last is your chain of command. If there is a proper chain of command, that then there will be no conflicts and manager can persuade the employees' activities in such a way that they can achieve their department goals easily. Organization structure. An organizational structure is a system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goals of an organization. These activities can include roles, rules, and responsibilities. Basically, organizational structure is something like कि आप पहले ही सब कुछ decide कर रहे हो that who is going to perform which task and how they are going to perform it and what exactly they require to perform it and to whom they are going to report for such task for completion of such task and who will be the responsible person for a specific task. So each and everything is decided and predetermined in organization structure. So basically it's kind of a platform जिसके through आपको काम करना है throughout your tenure. You have to work on that according to that organization structure. Everything is predefined that whom are going to perform which task and who are responsible for which task. So each and everything is defined in the organization structure. Here's your features of good organization structure. First is simplicity. Organization structure should be simple. It should be clear. Like there is no use if you are making it a complicated one. In that case, no employees will understand what exactly they are supposed to do and what exactly they are going to perform. So it should be a simple one so that each and every employee can easily understand it and easily work upon it. Next is your flexibility and continuity. Each organization structure should be flexible according to the environment. See, as we all know that environment keeps on changing. So there's no use if you are making a static organization structure where you can't make any kind of changes. Like for example, if we take the current scenario, right now we are all are facing some problems due to the corona. If we are not well prepared about it, well prepared about any contingencies which can occur, so then in that case that organization will suffer loss. Like अगर अभी इन करंट सिनेरियो कंपनीज के पास क्या होता कि कंपनीज के पास कोई ऑनलाइन पोर्टल ही नहीं होता, ऑनलाइन काम कराने का कोई सोर्स ही नहीं होता, तो इन दैट सिचुएशन व्हाट हैपन कि कंपनी को क्या होता, लॉस होता. सो इट शुड बी फ्लेक्सिबल. कि हाँ उनको पता होना चाहिए कि चेंजेस आते हैं, एनवायरनमेंट कीप्स ऑन चेंजिंग, सो इट शुड बी modified in such a way, it should be maintained in such a way कि अगर कोई changes करना भी है हमें according to the environment, so it will be appropriate according to that. Next is clear line of authority. There should be a clear line of authority, like whom you have to report your work. आपको किसको जाके रिपोर्ट करना है that what exactly you have done and who can give you the order. So there should be a clear line of authority. Next is proper delegation of authority. Suppose many organization people managers keeps on delegating the authority, so there should be a proper know how, like how to delegate the authority to person, and आप किसको delegate करना चाहते हो, is that person is capable enough or not. Next is your unity of command and direction. Unity of command and direction means like there should be a one boss only, as we all know have discussed earlier, that there should be a one boss only. Otherwise, it will create a confusion, like whom you have to report, right? आपको किसकी चीजें माननी है, आपको किसका ऑर्डर सुनना है. So there should be a unity in that. There should be a one boss only. Next is your proper emphasis on staff. Proper emphasis on staff means like these are the employees and they are working on such a specific task. So when you know that whom is going to perform which task, in that way you can proper emphasize on that particular thing. You can blame us if our task is not completed. You can simply blame that person. ठीक है, देयर शुड बी अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन लाइन एंड स्टाफ अथॉरिटी. आपको सबका पता है दैट whom are responsible for which work, so you can properly emphasize on a particular task on a particular employee. Next is your contingent factors in organization design. First is your strategy. So it's whatever the strategy you are making, it should be based on the company's mission and its strategic goals and objectives. Next is your environment. Environment has an impact on decision making, specifically the difficulty of making decisions in uncertain and unpredictable environment. So organization must be able to adopt those changes and must be well prepared for such changes in advance. Next is your size of the organization. The number of employees working in an organization indicates its size. All the employees are included and considered as its size of the organization. It is observed that large organizations differ structurally from small ones in terms of division of labors, rules, and regulations. So all the things which are included in this, that is considered as the size of the organization. So it has a great impact on the structuring of the organization design. Next is your age of the organization. It is very essential that you are designing your organizational structure while considering its stage of life cycle, like birth, youth, middle life, and maturity. Like in the birth stage, the organization created by the entrepreneur is informal, with no rules and regulations. Decision making is centralized with the owner and the tasks are not specialized. And whereas in the youth stage, the organization is growing. It expands and hires more employees. It incorporates division of labor and formal rules and policies. So decision making is still with the owner, although it is shared by few persons closer to the owner. Like this, you have to design your organization structure by considering all the factors. Key elements of organizational structure. First is your work specialization. The work of each and every person, each and every employee should be specialized, like whatever they are good at. If an employee is good at writing the content, So that work should be allotted to that particular person only. In the same way, that will increase their efficiency, and also it will maintain a interest level in those employees. Second is authority and responsibility. There should be a proper coordination between authority and responsibility. There should not be any kind of disparities between both, because they goes on side by side. Next is your chain of command. Chain of command, as I told you, that all the command should be come from a one boss only. There should be a proper chain, like whom are going to command which employee and which manager is responsible for which department. So there should be a clearly defined chain of command. Next is your centralization and decentralization. It focuses on like which activities needs to be centralized and which activity or task needs to be decentralized. So it should be planned according to these factors, after considering these factors. Next is your span of control. Span of control, as I told you, that you should be well aware of that who whom you are going to report, who will be the responsible manager, आपको किसको जाके report करना है. So there should be a proper clearly defined span of control. And last is your departmentalization. When you know the organization is large in number, so there you should you should departmentalize the activities into different departments, so that you can easily control the task of each and every employees and each and every department. So these are the elements which are like beneficiaries for the organization structure. Last topic of the day is your organization chart. The organization chart is a diagram showing graphically the relation of one official to another or others of a company. It is also used to show the relation of one department to another or others, or of one function of an organization to another or others. So basically, it is a chart which typically illustrates relation between people within an organization. Such relations might include managers to sub-workers, directors to managing directors, chief executive officer to various departments, and so on. Principles of organization chart. First is clear definition of jobs. Charts should be prepared while keeping in view overall jobs of the organization. Every job has a suitable position on the organization chart. Next is authority and responsibility. The responsibility for each job along with commensurate authority at different levels must be clearly shown in the organization chart. It should be clearly defined in this chart. Next is end results area. What we are expecting from the employees, what is the like task which has been expected from the specific job, that should be clearly defined in this organization chart, so that we know that what we are exactly expecting from each position. Next is flexibility. It should be flexible, it should be capable enough to make any changes according to the environment. Next is your control. By dividing the overall task into smaller units, these charts provide a yardstick of performance, which will help us in actually measuring the performance of actual performance in the end. So that will help us in controlling that. Students, that's all for today's lecture. In next video, I will be continuing your unit 3 only. So here are the questions which has been asked earlier in your university exams. First is, what do you understand by organization chart? I know you can solve it. Second question is, what do you understand by coordination? Also explain its principles and details. So you have to solve these questions. I hope you are clear with today's lecture. And if you face any doubt or any query you have, so do let me know. I will arrange a doubt session for you.
Thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for more videos.